Okay, guys. Good morning, first of all, and here's a departure from my usual COMMGiving video post, which is a little joke. If you have to think of something to say every day or to write in terms of social media or your blog or whatever, and we all start out, we want to be useful and helpful, right? But eventually we reach that point where while we're thinking of something to say, what to say next, what to write about next, the thought occurs to us, and it might not have happened to you yet, but you think, I have to think of something that people can't use. And once you get to that point, you know what I'm talking about. And those who have reached that point, have gone over it, they also know what I'm talking about, which is like, you don't want to give away trade secrets. You don't want to give away, secret formulas. But you also want to lie to people, and you don't want to, you still want to be, helpful and make your blog post, your video post worth listening to. But you don't review new products. You're not talking about the news. You're just giving advice about, marketing or business or something. So it starts to get a little bit repetitive, kind of like listening to a financial advisor, all the time talking about compound interest. So at one point, you wake up, you think, what am I going to say today? And you think, I don't want to say anything that people can use. You know what I mean? That's my little joke for COMMGiving, where you don't want to give. You reach a point where you pretty much covered the whole textbook, and you really don't want to give any more information that people can use, because then it starts getting into like your mother's secret recipe, some kind of special knack you have. You don't want to give up those tricks. You just go back over the textbook and see if there's like maybe a paragraph that you missed. So that's when you start writing a blog or doing this kind of stuff, and you're not talking about news or new products or anything like that, or movies or anything. At some point, you're gonna reach a point where you say, I don't really want to give something that people can use. All right, so that's pretty much a COMMGiving for today. A little bit of a break from usual digital marketing tips, tricks, and productivity stuff. And I do notice that even though the economy, I wouldn't call it firing on all cylinders. The unemployment is very low, but it seems like also the rate of pace is also very slow. All right, it's not like unemployment is low and then like everything is just growing fast. It's like unemployment is very low, but the rate of pace is also very low, as if being caught in LA traffic, right? Being caught in LA traffic and everybody's working, except it's very slow, right? And some people, for some reason, and it seems like, this has to do with like pension funds and investment funds. They promise their investors, these private equity investors, private equity partners, phenomenal growth, like 20%, 30, 50%. And they just can't get it. Because even though everybody seems to be back at work, it is still like being caught in LA traffic, right? It's very slow. So at best, you might get like government bond growth, like 2 or 3%. And if you're good, you know, you might get something like 10%, 15%, which is a good Wall Street investment bank, like Goldman Sachs. You know. If you're really aggressive, you might be like Warren Buffett, you might get 20%, 25%, because he goes out and buys companies. But lesser than that, anyone lesser than that, who are promised private equity investors, 20, maybe 30, 40%, they cannot get it. So they're going into like the jungle and the rainforest and like, you know, you know what I mean? Like into like war zones in Brazil and into like the heart of Africa. You know, most you know, Goldman Sachs, Warren Buffett, most of them are investing in like Europe, Britain, Sweden. You know, maybe up in Canada even. You know, mostly in the United States, building subdivisions maybe. You know, maybe buying up Dollar Tree. You know, or buying more shares in Ross for less, dress for less. But less than that, they're going into like the heart of Africa. They're going into like rice fields, into like Southeast Asia. It's okay for those, the Goldman Sachs of Asia and the Warren Buffett of Asia. But if you were less than that and you're here, I just tell you, like the lack of information, you know. So that seems to be what's happening out there. This is a departure from my usual COMMGiving, which the last one was about using BitLocker on your SD card on Windows 10. All right, so I'll see you guys later.